you know what's my problem with Marcuse? You didn't mention one book which for me condenses all that is problematic for me in Marcuse, Eros and Civilization. I cannot buy that idea of some pre-patriarchal, or whatever you call it, sex, which is originally perverse, plural, freedom, and so on. Although Marcuse, I know he's not an idiot. He knows, he takes into account how there is a self-sabotaging dimension in sexuality, that obstacle is not just exterior. Another thing for Marcuse, the problem of one-dimensional, his classical work, one-dimensional society is that, like his vision was a little bit for me, I simplified, I know, like not Aldous Huxley, what's his Utopia, not 1984, but his one, Happy New
Brave New World.
Brave New World.
Brave New World, you know, a falsely perfect one-dimensional society. Well, I don't think we are moving in that direction. I think, on the contrary, we are witnessing now growing inner tensions and explosions. Like the cultural war we are in today is, for me, the expression of a deep-cut antagonism precisely between the two sides of contemporary global capitalism. Plus, I think that I agree here with some of my friends, like from Joe Didin to Yanis Varoufakis, that neoliberal capitalism is already disappearing. Sorry, but figures like Bill Gates and the mega idiot Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos and so on, they are already pushing liberalism to a certain edge. I don't like the term that some people proposed, neo-feudalism, but nonetheless, capitalism is no longer the neoliberal capitalism that it was. Something very strange is happening. On the one hand, the traditional working class is not disappearing, but is no longer central. Just ask yourself, who is the main emancipatory force today? Isn't it that for millions of migrants and contract workers and so on, to be a classical exploited proletarian? Like, okay, you are not rich, but you have saved daily life, some kind of insurance and so on, is almost a privilege today. We have immigrants, we have permanently unemployed, we have precarious workers. We have a very important thing that my friend from Latin America drew my attention to. We have what some of my friends from Denmark call ecological proletarians, already tens of millions, people who are not exploited in any direct way. Big companies, because of mining, fracking, and so on, are just simply destroying their environment. It is happening massively in Canada. All this oil fracking is happening, almost all of it, on Inuit and Native Americans' land. So there is no direct, in Ecuador, the situation is horrible. So you know what I mean? I don't think also Marcuse knew about this complexity already. But I am one step more pessimist than Marcuse. I think that from today's perspective, his idea of one-dimensional society is almost too optimistic. It's not just this empty consumerist world, blah, blah, blah. We are entering a world all the time at the edge of a civil war, of an explosion, and so on and so on. That's my problem. Although I must say, I know pretty well Marcuse, for example, this is a heroic act. You know that Marcuse was the only one of all Frankfurt School who tried to confront seriously Stalinism. He wrote his book, Soviet Marxism, where he doesn't really succeed providing theory of it, but somehow to account all others, although they were anti-communist. Like, read all of Habermas. You would never have guessed that there was still recently also East Germany, socialism there. So they totally ignore this mega failure of really existing socialism in the 20th century and so on. So yes, return to Marcuse, but in a different way. Marcuse couldn't, neither could I. You know, he's predict this. He's part of that era where people thought that the main problem is everyday alienation. We live in false welfare, but our lives are automatized, stupid, consumerist, and so on and so on. Well, to be cynical, many ordinary people who are now homeless and so on, poor, would say, and I sympathize with them, my God, I will quite like to be a little bit of an alienated consumerist. Nothing against that, you know.